Good morning and happy Sunday. Just about to take off from this hotel here. Look how big my backpack is. I'm gonna go downstairs, get a coffee, and then probably head back over to Piccadilly because I want to go to the biggest Waterstones, the biggest bookstore in Europe. It was so sunny and warm in London, and it's sunny here, but it's kind of overcast. It's a bit sad. Anyway, haul time. I'm gonna start with what I got from Space NK. The lady who served me at Space NK was New Zealander. I was so excited. Actually, everyone who served me today has been foreign. The clerk at Waterstones was, I think, maybe South American, and the clerk at Space NK was New Zealander, so that was great. They didn't have the big version of the Bon Dia Bright Cream, so I got the medium-sized one. And then I also got a slightly bigger, the medium size of the spray as well. And then I got 4 things from Waterstones. I got this House Moving Castle journal. Isn't it pretty? I just couldn't help myself. I'm a sucker for a journal. And, you know, I was thinking ahead to when I do fill the journals I currently have, this will be great. Like, look. There's like different color paper throughout here, and there's like artwork separating each of them. And then this is like the young readers book I had my eye on. So this is Wolf Road by Alice Roberts, and it's illustrated by Keith Robinson. So this book is kind of like the Crudes vibes. So it's about a prehistoric girl who finds like a strange boy who she doesn't know near one of their camps, and yeah, it's just like their adventures of the outside world that she has never explored before. What originally got my attention was these edges. Funnily enough, in Waterstones the young readers have it the best. All the middle grade stuff and then some of the young adult stuff has all the gorgeous sprayed edges and all the special editions, and meanwhile in the adult readers section we just have to suffer. I'm very surprised, but it's good because seeing this really is going to encourage me to read something that I probably normally wouldn't pick up. But I think this sounds really good. I think it sounds really interesting. I do want to start to read some more middle grade fantasy and stuff like that, just because I think it's going to be good inspiration for me. I want to read like a variety of fantasy books and sci-fi books. Just expand my horizons a little more, not sort of read the same or similar things all the time. And the artwork is really gorgeous. So when I did my first cursory walk around Waterstones Piccadilly, I identified this in the manga section and had to go back and get it. This is Stars of Chaos by Paulin. There's some art, but not really a lot. The covers on the Chinese novels are so gorgeous, and same with the Korean ones as well. But this really drew my attention. I thought it was beautiful. So this is like a steampunk inspired sort of setting. So Changgang is our main character, and he lives in like a northern border village, and they get raided, and it is upon his village being raided that he discovers things aren't quite what they seem. And that's all I really know about this, but I thought, oh my god, I just thought this was so stunning and I found it really intriguing. And apparently it says this is the basis of the hit series on Netflix Word of Honor, which I have not seen. I've not even heard of it. Look at that. So yeah, I thought this was different, and I really look forward to reading it. There was just they have so many gorgeous translated works on offer, not only in like the manga section but also in the fantasy section. There's a lot of really beautiful looking Korean and Chinese authors, so I'm excited to branch out into their works a little bit more. And then finally, I spent a lot of time pondering over the sci-fi and fantasy hardcover sections and trying to figure out what I was going to get. I was tossing up a lot of Korean translated works and Chinese translated works, but I end up going for this one because it's got dragons. I'm obsessed with dragons and can never pass up an opportunity to read a book about dragons. This is a Dragon Rider by Taran Matharu. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, well, sorry. It's got a really gorgeous map, which was a big selling point. Oh my gosh, Taran used to be a Wattpad writer. That is so cool. So the main character in this book is Jai, and he is betrothed to this princess, but the betrothal doesn't work out, and he ends up teaming with this warrior called Frida, and on his way out he steals a dragon egg. Very similar sort of premise to the book I'm writing, so that's interesting, but it's fine. It's different enough, but I was like, oh, runs away with a dragon egg. I was like, that sounds familiar. Sounds like something I would have written about, because it is. Anyway. And he is going to bond with the dragon. I thought this looked really cool. I just love dragons so much. So I'm very excited to see what this offers. Look at that map. Look at the dust jacket. I love different portrayals of dragons, so it'll be interesting to see how the dragons are portrayed in this novel, because it can be different in all of them. Male author, male main character, one of the many things I'm trying to branch out into reading more of. Essentially, all three of the books I got today are lessons in branching out from the normal thing. So I'm excited. I want to read a variety of things. I thought these are really grand. Golly gosh, this journal, isn't that fab? And Illborn update. So I'm now a bit over 25% of the way through. I read quite a bit on the train just then and while I was waiting for the train to arrive, because it got to the station early. Very good. I really like it. It was still like each of the characters, their stories sort of moving along a little bit. So it'd be interesting again to see it all come together. I really like all the characters really. We have 2 male main characters and 2 female main characters, and they're all very different and their paths are quite different. So I'm excited to see them all come together, and I'm wondering, they basically all have this shared dream that they have trouble remembering, but it's obviously like some sort of prophecy, and I know the four of them are going to come together, but I can't wait to see how and why. I just find it all very exciting. But their individual plot lines so far are really compelling. I'm looking forward to seeing things move along and see them grow as characters. And I think it's just very, very well done. So yeah, super excited about that. I don't know, I just can't wait. This book makes me excited, and that's exciting. But right now I need to go to Tesco and get laundry detergent. Yay! Interlude to say I think I'm the dumbest person in the world. Stars of Chaos is not written by Xiaopo Long. Xiaopo Long is the Chinese title. It's written by Priest. Just gonna correct myself there. Hiya everyone, happy Tuesday. Yesterday was a crazy day, so I did not tune in with an update, but I did get some b-roll of me reading, so that was good. Because everything was so busy and crazy yesterday, I didn't really get stuck into a fantasy book, but I did start A Sign of Affection. I'm up to chapter 3 of volume 1. It is super cute. This manga is just cuteness overload. It just made me want to squeal like a little girl. I love it. I think it's delightful. The art style I find just so cute and beautiful. It's a very simple story so far. I really like it. I'm enjoying this thoroughly. And then I have got a little further in Illborn. I think I'm about 35% of the way through now. This is really good and things are starting to happen slowly but surely. Things are plodding along. I really like all our main characters. Corin, he's in a bit of a sticky spot at the moment. I believe his name is Orion or maybe Arian. I'm not really sure what his sort of power thing is going to be just yet, but I'm sure it'll make itself manifest soon because we're back in his POV now. Keen to read a bit more about Liana, and yeah, keen to check back in with our other female main character as well. Her name escapes me right now. I'm so poor with names in the best of times. The pacing I found really perfect. Like, he's giving enough time for everything to develop really organically, but at the same time it doesn't feel like, oh, nothing's happening. Enough is happening to keep you intrigued. Yesterday afternoon I also moved into my little place here. You'll see a sink behind me. I'm not in a bathroom. I just have a sink in my room. So yeah, I've just been settling in and finally doing my laundry. I was like so close to being out of clean clothes, so it's a good thing we moved in when we did. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna read here for a bit. This is my little book stack I have going here. I think I'm gonna pop on some ambiance or a like a fantasy reading playlist or something, and yeah, read some Illborn because I really want to find out what's gonna happen. I'm very curious about this book. Hiya guys, happy Thursday. I feel like I've barely checked in. I've been really bad this week, but I think I'm just getting in the groove of being here. It's obviously different to home in terms of filming, and admittedly I have not been reading as much as usual. My attention span has just been so poor because there's so much distracting me all the time, like that helicopter outside right now. There's some event here where I'm staying on tonight, so we're all going to pop around to that. I was not going to put on makeup and do my hair, but I saw like a bunch of the other girls getting ready and I was like, oh. And they're like dressed. I was like, oh, well, I'm still going to wear my t-shirt and my jeans, but I guess I'll make myself look moderately presentable. So I haven't read any more of A Sign of Affection since I last updated you, but I have read quite a bit more of Illborn. I'm just under 60% of the way through now. This is getting juicy. The stakes are getting high. Half our characters are having dilemmas at the moment, but oh my god, it is so intriguing. We finally got a glimpse of what Orion's power is like. He's got the least developed understanding of his powers at the moment, so I'm sure we'll see more of his soon, but now I know what it is. Oh my gosh, like I definitely think this book is going to be a new favorite of mine. It is just so good. If my attention span wasn't like ruined this week, I would have finished this already. It's that good. But yeah, I've just been settling in at work now that I can do a bit more at work. I went to the gym yesterday, which was good. And then last night I kept getting distracted because I realized it was Wednesday and I have a long weekend this weekend and I hadn't planned anything. And I thought about staying local or going somewhere pretty close like York, but then I figured it would be a waste of a long weekend to not go somewhere that was a bit further away and sort of maximize the time, I guess. So I am going to Bath this weekend. It's booked in. I'm very excited. I believe on Saturday around 11 I'm doing a Bridgerton themed like walking tour to the Bridgerton filming locations in Bath, and it has like I think they give you headphones and play like music from the show while you do it, so I thought that was cool. And then on Sunday I'm booked in at 11 again for a like historical Bath walking tour, including going to the Roman baths, so that should be cool. And then on Monday, before I leave, I'm going to go to the Jane Austen Centre, so I'm booked in for that as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've got about 5 hours left in the book, so I want to get some done now, and then the train journey to Bath will take me about 4.5 hours, so I'm sure I'll finish it tomorrow. And then either way I'm going to start the Elite next, I think, which I don't think should take me long at all, especially if I manage to fix my attention span between now and then. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of time right now, so I figured let's do a little bit of reading together before I have to get going and do other things. Hiya guys, happy Friday. I'm coming to you from Bath, which is very, very exciting. I just arrived here around 9 p.m, checked in, had a shower. Bath is like, I have not seen much. I've basically walked down one road, but Bath is so beautiful so far. Like when I think of England, like the vibes of Bath, the architecture of Bath is like what I think when I think of England. So yeah, I think it looks really beautiful. I did not read as much as I thought on the train ride over, but I'm now 70%, I think, of the way through Illborn. It is literally phenomenal. Phenomenal. I need everyone to read this book, like seriously. I was just like far too tired to really lock in and read on the trains, because I caught a billion of them. Yeah, so last night I went out to the like festival thing that work was having, like the place where I live was having. I wasn't sure about going at first, but I went and I had a great time. I met like heaps of people. I had felt like I didn't drink that much, but I was plastered, man. It was like despicable, probably because I hadn't had dinner or anything like that, so that might have had something to do with it. So I got into bed at maybe like 1:15, 1:30 this morning. and my alarms for work go off at at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and I gotta be at work at 7:30. I really don't think my alarms went off this morning because I don't know, unless I pressed stop on them and I have no memory of it. But anyway, I did end up thankfully waking up at about 6:10, because I really needed to go to the bathroom. But I woke up and there was like 3-hour rain sound video playing, and I was like, when did I put on ASMR when I went to bed last night? And why on my phone? I always do it on my iPad. When did my alarms go off? When did I press stop on them? I don't remember any of these things. When I went to work, that was rough. But when the cafe at work opened at 8, I went and got like this brekkie burger thing that was really tasty. And that rescued me for a bit, and then I started like crashing again. So I got this that cheesy pastry thing, and a massive I love getting a venti caramel macchiato, like, because the coffee at work is not very good, but if it's got caramel in it, then it'll be fine. And I went to go get that, and I don't know why, but I think she used oat milk in my coffee, and I just like to have normal milk. Like, I used to drink oat milk all the time. I was like into it because I was convincing myself I liked it. I do not like oat milk. So yeah, then I was stuck with this massive drink that was barely palatable, and I wasn't going to like go back to her and complain because she's really lovely, you know, and everyone makes mistakes. I thought like, oh yeah, I'll still drink it, it's alright. But oh my god, I did not drink it. Thankfully around like 10-11 a.m. I came good enough to get on 4 trains this evening and come all the way to the other side of the country. But no, it was a good night. I'm glad I did it. I had a lot of fun. I literally said at the beginning, oh, like, I'm gonna have one drink. I'm not really drinking other than that. I have drunk more this year than I ever normally would in a calendar year. I've just been more sociable in that sense this year. I'm at the Doubletree Hilton here in Bath. I think this is the nicest hotel I've stayed at so far. Like, for sure the Tower Hotel had the best view, but the bed was so uncomfortable. It literally blew my mind how uncomfortable that bed was. But this is already feeling a lot better. It's a king size, all to my little self. Much better than the single bed I sleep on, where work's got me put up. So, yeah. I think when in Bath, do as Jane Austen does. So I might watch Emma. I just recently did a massive Pride and Prejudice rewatch on the flight over, actually. On the flight over, I did a massive Pride and Prejudice series version, Colin Firth version. That's my favorite one. I did a big rewatch of that on the plane over. So I won't watch Pride and Prejudice again. So I might watch Emma. And yeah, then maybe tomorrow I'll watch Sense and Sensibility. That's my recap of my 3 things. I'm in Bath. I'm probably going to watch Emma. And I'm 70% of the way through Illborn. And I fucking highly recommend everyone read that book. I'll obviously tune in with my final thoughts later. But it is extremely good so far. I really like where we're at in the book. Still waiting for like all 4 of the characters to come together. But now Orion and Alana have met. So that's been interesting. Good, but interesting. We know like a little bit about Orion's power now. Corin is dominating in Viking world. And my darling Lyanna is being a queen. She is a good person. She helps people. She is faithful. I love her. Good person through and through. So far, at least. I hope I haven't jinxed it now. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna read more than that. I did think I would have finished it by now, but doesn't matter. It's about enjoying it. It's not always about the speed. I'll speak to you in the morning time, probably. So while I was on the Bridgerton tour, I came across this Persephone Books, and I had to go there afterwards to suss it out. So Persephone Books is actually a publishing house, not just a bookstore, and they publish things that have either fallen out of print or have not been printed in the past. They have a few that are manuscript, and these are mostly from the 1800s, though go well into the mid-1900s as well. So I thought this was a really cute bookstore with a lot of really nice things on offer, and some books I hadn't seen before but were right up my alley. They have a deal on all these blue cover books where you can get 3 for £36. I believe they're £14 each, so it's a pretty good deal. It wouldn't be me if I didn't check out the local Waterstones, so I headed down to Waterstones Bath, and they had just some really amazing things in there. The fantasy sci-fi section was pretty much what you would expect. There was nothing out of the ordinary here, but of course, once again, it was the manga section that really drew my eye. Of course, this was its first rule. I can't pass up an opportunity to show that book off. They had the entire box set of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, which is a series I really love, so that put that back on my radar. Oh my gosh, and then the entire Death Note collection all rolled into one. I want that so bad, but I'll have to save it till I go home. These Nier Automata books I was so close to buying. And Orange, big shout out, one of my favourite series. I also desperately want this Sailor Moon Monopoly. Hiya, happy Saturday. I have had my first day in Bath, pretty much. It is just going on 2 p.m. now. Decided to come back to the hotel so I can charge my phone, take a little bit of a break before I go to an early dinner. I saw this steak restaurant while I was on my tour this morning, and I was like, I want to eat there, but the best I could do, unless I don't like to eat late, I prefer to eat early, so the best I could do was like 4:45 p.m. and I thought, that's right, I just won't have anything for lunch and I'll eat then and it will be great. I'm so excited to have a nice steak dinner. So this morning I went on my Bridgerton walking tour around Bath. We looked at the filming locations, and then there was like lots of historical knowledge in there too, but I've got more of a proper historical tour tomorrow. But it was lovely. Our tour guide, she was so lovely, very knowledgeable. Her voice, I was getting like ASMR while we were going around. She was lovely, and Bath is super beautiful. I had a bit of a chat with her, and then when we finished off, I was chatting with some other people who were on the tour. They offered to take a photo for me and I, like of me at Lady Danbury's house, and I declined. But I had a chat with them and they were lovely. They were from near Cardiff and wanted to make sure I knew that Wales is not England. I keep having this recurring trend of people not realising I'm Australian, and I I know like when you first hear an Australian accent, it can kind of sound English, but so I've been asked if I'm from Yorkshire. I was asked on Thursday, or at least someone asked, where's home to me, and I said Australia, and she was super shocked because she just thought I was northern. And then the tourists who were from Cardiff asked if I was from Bath, and I was like, oh, that's cute. Anyway, I didn't mean to. I was like, I'm not buying any books on this trip. Yeah, okay. Persephone Books publishes a lot of things that have fell out of publication, sort of non-mainstream authors. So I had to read through all their books there to see if there were any I would like, and I settled on these three. This is Reuben Sachs by Amy Levy. This is supposed to be like a satirical, what did it say? So it was like a satirical novel and like Jewish Jane Austen, so I thought that sounded intriguing. And then this is A Well Full of Leaves by Elizabeth Myers. As far as I can remember, this was about like a family living in a small town, maybe in Oxford, and they have like a really terrible mother. And then their main author, and apparently their most popular author, is Dorothy Whipple. This is The Priory. So I think this is about a family, but it's also about their house, Sornby House. There's some dilemma, and I think the home is closing down. But yeah, again, sounded intriguing. Unfortunately, the summaries are just extracts, they're not actual blurbs, so I'm going purely off my memory here, but I picked all three of them because I thought they sounded up my alley. I like classics that are a little bit more on the light-hearted side. I like books about like family, which is why I like things like Little Women, and all of Jane Austen's work, or I like things that are romantic, which is why I like Charlotte Bronte. Yeah, anyway, and then I went to Waterstones, and I wasn't going to get anything actually because I was relatively unimpressed with what they had on offer until like the very end before I left, and I saw they had this section of new release fiction in hardback, and I'm glad I had already decided to leave when I saw that, because I really have to stop buying books. Like, this is getting ridiculous. But I had seen on Aya's Cottage here on YouTube, she had been on the hunt for this cover of the Complete Poems collection by Emily Bronte. So this cover is going out of circulation. It's moving to like more of an artistic, modern artistic cover. So Aya had some struggle getting this, but when I saw this cover on her channel, I was like, oh, I would really like to read Emily Bronte's poems, and that cover is just beautiful. So I've kept an eye out for it just in case I see it, because I know this will go out of circulation eventually. And Waterstones Bath came through. So I managed to get this one, and it should be really nice. That's it for book purchases, and I have to stop. So as you guys know, I'm Australian. I'm here in England for work. We also have some New Zealanders who are here for work, and they started just shortly around the same time as myself and the other Australian, or maybe just slightly before. And two of them are girls, and they're very similar in age to me, so that's fantastic. And they've invited me to go to Ibiza with them in July, and I thought, why not? That's not something I'm going to do on my own. If they're going, I'd love to go. That should be really, really fun. So I booked my plane tickets this morning, and then they said, oh, we're actually going to go on the Friday to Calvin Harris's concert. So I booked the tickets for that too. And then, yeah, I think we're just going to get like a bit of a bigger, nicer Airbnb in Ibiza as well. And we might do like we might organize some extra things like a boat tour or whatever. It should be really, really good. Partying in Ibiza is not something I would like naturally go and do as a solo traveler. As I'm sure you guys can tell from my adventures so far, I'm pretty nerdy and pretty low-key. I like to see historical things, go to the theatre, read books. My hobbies, like even when I'm at home, if I want to do something on the weekend, I'll just go to the shops and walk around and get my steps in. Like, I don't actually even care to buy anything half the time. Like, going to the shops is my hobby. So it will be good to do the party side, because I do like to party every now and again. I'm going to read for a bit now and I'll check in with you later. I'm going to try and finish Illborn, and maybe I will, so you'll see. Okay, I pretty much just finished Illborn, had a shower, thought about the book for a bit. It's a new favorite, like easily. I have so many theories about the next book, which makes me want to read the sequel so badly, and I wish I could share my theories with you, but my theories are kind of spoilers in a sense, because this is like a massive book and so much happens, and I don't even want to touch on my theories in case it spoils anything, because I really think everyone needs to read this book and enjoy it fully. And I'm not saying that to be nice to the author or anything like that. I'm saying it because I mean it. Everyone should read this book. It is phenomenal. Like, seriously, so good. Like, on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going to happen next. Twists, turns, curveballs, really intriguing characters who are all very distinct and different from one another. I just love it. I love it. I think the way he writes is faultless. I thought the characters were perfect. There's always like that little bit of apprehension when you read a male writing from females' perspectives that it isn't going to resonate, but I didn't feel that at all. I thought Alana and Leanna were very, very good, very well written, and I really enjoyed Orion and Corin as well. I liked that there were similarities in their gifts, but quite distinct differences as well, so that each of them can do something very specific. I thought the politics were very interesting. I think we got to learn enough about each country. I thought the religious system, the religious beliefs were good. Very obvious that the main religion in the book is based off Christianity. Like, it's very obvious. And oh god, I'm definitely going to butcher the pronunciations of all the names, but their god Aguel is like, or Aguel, sorry, I literally don't know how to pronounce anything, I just make it up. Aguel is obviously like draws massive correlations to Jesus. Then Corin obviously comes from like a Viking inspired background, like longboats, raids, there's balls, like that sort of thing. Multiple gods. We don't know much about like Corin's gods, but I'm just going to assume they're like the gods of Norse mythology. Obviously, I think we don't need to know a lot about them though, because it's primarily going to be about Aguel. So yeah, I'm very excited to read the sequel, Aguel's Sin. But for now, I'm moving on to The Elite by Kira Cass, taking a hard left turn from like adult epic fantasy to teeny romance. But I like to shake things up. I like to read a variety of things. It is Saturday, is it not? Saturday night, and you know what that means. That means I gotta wrap this little thing up into a pretty little bow so I can give it to you and start the next vlog tomorrow. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I really do appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me. I hope you don't feel like it was wasted. You know, if you did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, a comment if there was anything you wanted to comment about, and please do consider subscribing, and I would love to see you back here in any of my future videos. But even if this is my first and last video of yours, I do appreciate it either way. I appreciate you giving me a chance. On that note, that's all from me and my eye bags. I'm gonna dive into this, and I hope I'll see you in the next vlog where we'll continue on with my adventures in Bath. I'll return home and hopefully we can read a few more books. So I'll see you then. Bye.